So now she's crying. She's screaming all over the house. She don't know what to do. So at this point, she tells me to go in her room and go to bed. So I guess she don't want me to.
Tip of the day. Don't let your doubt get the best of you. Why? What's the point? What have it served you? Nothing. Procrastination, and that's it. Get up and do it. Hi, my name is Shaneria. If you're new here, this is Talking Crime, and on this channel we do reaction videos and we like to get to the story time. If you are returning, you know how we like to do it. Let's get straight into today's reaction video.
Yeah, I don't know why TikTok took my sound off my first part one, so I'm going to retell this part one. I'm gonna try my best to use words that TikTok like, because obviously they ain't like the words that I was using in my last video. All right, so part one on how my mom unalived my baby brother. All right, so this was back in 2003, back in February of 2003. I was 10, my brother was 5, and my mom unalived him. It was a normal day, and my brother, he was getting ready to start kindergarten soon. So my mom was just going over some, a few things with him. And for this particular day, she wanted to go over his numbers. And she was asking him to count to 20. And she was asking him repeatedly to count to 20. And every time he would count to 20, he would skip the number 16. I don't know what it was about that number 16, but he would miss it every time he would count to 20. He would say 15, 17, 18. He would skip 16. And I don't know why he was doing it. Okay, so each time he was missed the number 16, she would hit him and tell him to start over. He'll start over, miss it again. She hit him again. And it wasn't just no hit, like a little simple hit. This was like hits. I remember she used a wooden broomstick. She used the little curtain rod thing, the little thingy you put the curtain, you slide the curtain thing in, those, the old school kind, the white ones. She used that one. She used that. Anything that was hard that she could find, she was hitting him with it. So as I mentioned, that went on all day. I'm talking about all day, from sun up to sundown. Imagine getting beat on all day long. So she asked me to go help him, go practice with him, and come back. So we go in my room. We practice. I asked him to count, and y'all, he would literally say 16 with me. I don't know. Maybe my mama was just scaring him. I don't know. But he was doing it when he was saying it with me. So I'm like, okay, y'all, so you got it. So just go back out there and just count normal. 15, 16, you got these. Okay, so I'm like, mama, I think he got it now. He know it. So he count. He missed it again. He missed the number again. So at this point, my mama, I guess she's frustrated. So we was already staying in Mississippi at the time. If you're from Mobile, Mississippi from Mobile is maybe about a good hour drive. So she said, yeah, let's go ride to Mobile. So I proceed to get in the front seat, but she like, no, let your brother get in the front seat. So I'm like, all right, get in the front seat. So I get in the back seat, and the whole ride from Mississippi to Mobile, my mama is literally smashing my brother's head on the window, like angry, mad that he was missing that number 16. And I'm just like, this lady is crazy. Like, it ain't that serious, mama. But I'm a child, so I really can't say that. Okay, so we make it to Mobile. We make it to this house. Me and my brother sat in the car. We stayed in the car while she go in the house. We maybe sat in the car maybe about 10, 15 minutes. Now, mind you, I'm only 10 years old, so I don't know what she's doing in the house or why we're there. But later on, I did find out that there was a drug house that she was at. And I'm assuming she came back to Mobile to get her fix. But I didn't find it out till later on. But we're going to get to that point. Okay, so she get back in the car. We head back to Mississippi. So once we made it back to Mississippi, my brother gets out the car. Now, mind you, he been getting beat on all day, so he's a little disoriented when he get out the car. He's like falling over. He can barely walk because his head is swelled up so big from all the beating to the head. I mean, all the blows to the head. So I go to help him get up off the ground, but my mom was like, "No, leave him. He can do it. He can walk in the house, on his own." Okay, so we make it back into the house. She tell him to go lay down because he's weak. He can't take no more. Like, it's nothing else she could do to him. He's had enough. So I'm guessing since she done got her little fix, she still amped up. Like, she still got energy. She tells me to go get my schoolwork. So I get my schoolwork. Mind you, Mississippi work is totally different from Mobile work. It was difficult to me. So my work was wrong. So once she see that my work is wrong, she pursues to beat on me. She's beating on me with the broomstick. Now she's hitting on me. And I really believe to this day that my brother saved my life, because hadn't he had what he did when it happened, then my beating would have been on and on and on and on, just the way she did to my brother. But as she's beating on me, she hears my brother start coughing. So once he started coughing, she took her attention off me and went to go see what's going on with him. But at this point, when she go down there, he's not responsive. He ain't responding back to her. So once he's not responding, she goes into full panic mode. She like, "Go get me a wet towel, go get me some drink, go get me some juice, hurry. So I'm like running around the house. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So she calls my stepdaddy and tell him that he needs to get to the house. She think something. She did something, and she need him to come back to the house. So I help her get my brother in my bed. I help her put him in my bed. And y'all, my brother looked so different from that morning to the evening. He was a totally different person. Like, I have never seen somebody change the way they look in just a short amount of time. Like, so my stepdad come home. He see what she done. He like, "So what is this? Like, what did you do? So she like, "I went too far. Like, it went too far." So he's trying to do CPR. He's doing compressions. He's doing mouth to mouth. But I'm knowing this not gonna work because he kind of been unconscious for a minute, and I know normally you have to kind of do that stuff quickly. And when I seen that he had urinated on himself and blood was coming out his nose, y'all, I knew from that moment my brother was gone. My innocent baby brother was gone. He was no longer here with me no more. And it's so much to this story, y'all. Like, it's so many different parts, but this video is getting long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. But just comment, like, if you want me to do a part 2. Yeah.
I'm wondering, was this her first time like doing this, like beating on them, abusing them or whatever? Because no matter how people put it, this is a abuse. Like, she literally was abusing them. And I just feel like it's not her first time. But since she's telling a story, she's telling like from the day that all the stuff happened. And not only that, he was missing one number, but all the other numbers he was saying, regardless of whatever it is, he's starting kindergarten. Their job is to teach him how to count. Their job is to refresh his memory, to help him, as well as it is yours. So if you was like trying to teach him, trying to get him to count, right? the school had to play their part too in order for him to understand it. And sometimes teachers realize certain things and they could diagnose him properly so he can learn better. So for her to beat him like that was just cruel. It seemed like she took out her anger on them. Well, the little boy because she didn't have her fixed, and then the daughter because now she more energized. And sometimes evil come out of motherfuckers, like especially when they on that stuff. But to beat your children because they're not saying something correctly, or they not understanding something, or their schoolwork is wrong, instead of sitting down and helping them, right, with sense, you want to get angry and start beating them like they're punching bags and swinging on them to the point where now your son is lifeless and your boyfriend is coming to save you. He should have called 911 immediately when he got to that house and seen that little boy. But let's continue to see if he either helped that little boy or help her. 9 times out of 10, she called him because she feel like he's a safe place. So she's feeling like he's going to help her fix whatever it is or cover it up.
All right, y'all. I'm back with part 2 on how my mama unalived my baby brother. So once she realized that he just urinated on himself and the blood is coming out his nose, that's pretty much the end. So now she's crying. She's screaming all over the house. She don't know what to do. So at this point, she tells me to go in her room and go to bed. So I guess she don't want me to see, the next step and what she about to do. So I go to bed and I wake up the next morning and I'm petrified. I'm scared. I'm scared to go in my room and look in my room because I know the night before that was the last place my brother was at. So I look in the room. I don't see him no more. I don't see him in my bed. So I'm like, wait, what did she do with him? Where is he? And to this day, y'all, I'm a real detective. Like, I'm gonna find some stuff out. So as I'm walking through the house looking for the body, I see little carpet fringes on the floor. So when your carpet tail, the little pieces of the carpet be on the floor. So I see a lot of those on the floor. So I'm thinking like, okay, whatever she did, my brother, it's something to do with some carpet. So my mama calls me into the living room and she basically trying to coach me on what I'm gonna say when I go back to school. Because at this point, I've already missed 2 days of school. So I can't miss no more days of school. And she telling me like, okay, you gonna go to school, you gonna say this, you gonna say that. In my mind, I'm like, you thinking this whole little story you collaborated about the work? So after she get done coaching me on what I'm going to take to the school, because more than likely the police are going to come to the school because she's planning on reporting him missing. That was her story. Her story was he was missing. He ran away. That was a story that we both were going to stick to. And she was coaching me throughout the day on when the last time I seen him so I could tell the school. So later on that night, I heard her on the phone with somebody. So, as a child, I'm listening on the side of the wall, eavesdropping. And that's when I realized that she and my stepdaddy got rid of the body on their own. They disposed the body. So before I went to school that night, she actually rode by the crime scene. I'm assuming she wanted to see, like, did someone to find the body before I go to school and telling this story that he ran away. So we riding, we get on the interstate in Mississippi. We get on the interstate. She pulls over on the side of the interstate. I stay in the car. I didn't get out the car. And then I see her go, when you pull over the interstate, it's the bridge, on the side you look down into. So she looked down over the bridge. So at this point, I know now it's something to do with carpet and the bridge. So I'm like, okay. She wrapped him up in carpet and she threw him over the bridge. That's my thought process. And that's actually what she did, y'all. My mama and my stepdaddy rolled my brother up into some carpet, put him in a trash bag, and threw him on the side of the bridge. Y'all, I'm gonna try to insert some clips, not clips, but like some pictures of the articles and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to do that on my part 3. So the next morning, it's time for me to go to school. So I go to school. Now, I don't know you remember in my part 1 when she started beating on me. So I had some bruises on my face, but my mom had covered up with makeup. But my teachers, they still ended up seeing my eye, my bruises through the makeup. So they ended up calling me to the office. I get called to the office, y'all. I get called to the office, and they say, your mom reported your brother missing, and we want to ask you some questions about it. And they want to ask me some questions. So I'm knowing this, this is coming, but I didn't know it was coming so soon. So I'm a child, I'm 10. So I'm literally trying to remember what my mama was practicing with me, the story. And y'all, I kid y'all not, I stuck to that story as long as I could. That the last time I seen him is that morning when I went to school, he was in the room. I stuck to that story. I went over it. I was telling them that over and over and over. But I'm guessing by the East Bend police officers, they have done this for so long. They know I'm lying. So they started trying to threaten me, saying that if I don't tell the truth, they're going to have me arrested. They're going to put me, they're going to take me to jail. So I'm like, what? But I don't care. I'm sticking to my story. He ran away. He missing. I don't know where he at. I don't know. So the officer said, give me a moment. And he stepped out the room. When he stepped out the room, he came back with my auntie, my family member, my mama's sister. She came from Mobile to my school, and they gave us a moment to talk to they gave us some one-on-one time, just me and my auntie. So once my auntie come in the room, she asked me, she said, Tisha, what my nephew, what happened, what's going on? So I feel more comfortable to tell her the truth because this is my auntie. So I bust out, I told her the truth. I told her what it was. And when she went and told the police officer, she said, my niece got something to tell you. And I told the truth. I told what happened. And y'all, I kid you not, I heard the officer on his walkie-talkie. He say, we got the truth. Take her into custody. And from that day forward, I was 10 years old. I didn't see my mom again. I didn't see her. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, a hug, or nothing. Like, that was it. My mama was taken into custody. And to this day, y'all, I'm 31 years old. My mama is still in prison to this day. They gave her life without parole. Like, she would never see daylight again, like, ever. But going back to the part where she reported him missing, do y'all know they real deal took that seriously? Like, they had dogs, they had helicopters. They was real deal looking for my brother, like searching through the woods, 'cause we stayed by some woods. And to know the whole time that this was a fake story, yeah, they was upset. They was really upset, them detectives. So, yep, they called in to the officers that was at the house with my mama, and they told her to take her into custody. And that was it. I didn't see my mama again. There is some part 3 when she went to custody, and my next part of my stage is like what happened to me after that. So there is a part 3 that I do want to talk about. This one is getting kind of long, so that's part 2. So yeah, y'all comment if y'all want a part 3.
Crazy work. You really thought your 10-year-old daughter would stick to the story of your brother ran away? And let's be real, who was going to even believe that a 5-year-old ran away? Only way a 5-year-old gonna run away if it's something that they are afraid of and they run away. But 9 times 10, they're not even gonna run away when that happens. So who really gonna believe a 5-year-old kidnapped? Okay, but ran away? Ma'am, let's be real. I feel like the boyfriend should have came in and called 911. Like, fuck her. She done harmed a child, and all you could think about was saving her motherfucking ass when she went overboard. And he had to know she was abusing her kids, because he comes home and asks her, what have she done? and she said, this time I went overboard. Did I hear that right? So he already know that she be going in on them damn kids. But I'm happy that the daughter spoke up for her brother, because who else was going to speak up for him? Nobody. The auntie came and she felt comfortable, and thank God they pulled that string, because they got the answer, and the mother deserved life. She deserved to not ever see the light of day on the outside again. Like, yeah, you killed your child, ma'am. You're a 5-year-old for skipping the number 16. What? Jesus. People will ruin their life for nothing. Wow, this is so sad. Poor child. He would have been like 21 years old. Lord.
Okay, y'all, so part 3 on how my mom unalived my baby brother. So after I told the police what happened, I told them the truth. They then took my mom into custody. Once they took her into custody, I didn't see her until I was 13 years old. So I didn't see my mom for 3 years after I told them the truth. They took her into custody. Then they went to my stepdad's job, and they took him into custody. No, he was not my brother's dad. He was just a boyfriend, my mom's boyfriend. So once he gets taken into custody, he was offered a bond. He was able to get a bond, and he made his bond. My mama did not get a bond. They never granted her a bond. She had to sit. She had to sit in there. I'm assuming because of the stint, you know, what she did. He was just an accessory to the crime, so he did get a bond. But he never got a chance to make it to the trial because he was found dead. I mean, he was found unalived. I hope TikTok don't take my video down. But he was found unalived. We don't know to this day whether he unalived himself or someone unalived him. But he was found unalived at his job. And the way they found him, y'all, was so disturbing. They found him in some water. They don't know whether he threw himself in the water or somebody pushed him in the water, but he was a skeleton. When they found that man's body in the water, he had deteriorated. His body had deteriorated so bad. All he had left on his body was an ear. Like, and I'm still curious to know, like, did you just feel bad and just fell in the water, or did somebody pushed him in the water? Like, that's still a puzzle in my brain. They never figured it out. So once they took my mom into custody, they left me nowhere to go because I could not go with my mama's side of the family. I had to go into the system. I had to go into foster care. Y'all, so when I went into foster care, they tried to contact my biological father to let them know what was going on. Now, mind you, and to give y'all a backstory about my dad, y'all, it was very different for me because I didn't grow up with my dad. I only was raised by my mama, so I didn't really have a good relationship with my dad. So I was thinking, Lord, I'm gonna be in this system forever. He is not coming to get me, because all I ever known growing up that he didn't care about me. He got remarried, had another family, and wasn't studying me. That's all my mama ever instilled into me as a child, that my dad don't love me, he don't care about me, he got a wife with other kids, he ain't studying me. And that was a lie. My daddy loves me. He came and got me from Mississippi. He came and got me out there foster care, baby. I probably was in the system maybe 2 days, if that. And my dad didn't even know my mama had moved us to Mississippi. He was just so confused. And that wasn't me and my brother. We had different daddies, so that was not his son either. My mom actually didn't even know his dad. Well, she thought she knew his dad, but kind of find out that wasn't even his daddy. The man she thought was his daddy. So my brother don't know who his daddy. He didn't know who his daddy was. Well, we don't know who his daddy is. Put it like that. But life was very different living with my daddy, because he also had another wife. He had a wife, which was different because I'm like, this is not my mama. I'm not gonna respect her. I'm not gonna listen to her. Like, you know, so I had a rough childhood. Like, it was very rough for me, from getting taken out of one home, going into a whole another home with basically strangers, for real, because I didn't grow up with them. I wasn't always around them. So once I moved in, my dad, and it's just some stuff that stuck in my head. I remember my dad's exact words. if you gonna live in my house, you gonna respect my wife. And I was just like, well, I'ma leave. I'ma go. And I left. But I only made it to the backyard. I ain't go nowhere because I'm 10 years old. What the heck I'm gonna go? Like, what I'm gonna do? But me and her actually became best friends. Like, she wasn't that bad. Like, that's my girl. That's my mama. She raised me from 10 years old until now 30 something years old. So basically, she the only mother I know. Okay, so going back into going to court, going to trial, I had to be 13 years old to go testify against my mom. So once I came into the courtroom, they had it blocked off where I couldn't even see her in the courtroom. Mind you, y'all, I haven't seen her since I was 10 years old. I'm 13 years old now at this point. And they had I was sitting in the in the little seat next to the judge desk or whatever, and they had a whole bunch of stuff like blocked where I couldn't even see her, but that was still my mom, and I still loved her. So I'm trying my best to like look over the stuff that they got blocking her. I was leaning up a little bit so I could see her, but she was just like shaking her head, trying to scare me with her looks. I'm like, nah, let me just sit back, because she trying to convince me not to say nothing. But I had to tell the truth. They had already had my statement from when I was 10, when I first told it. And so if I would have got on that stand and lied, the math just wouldn't have been mathing. So yeah, so after my testimony, they ended up giving her life without parole. She actually requested the death penalty, like she wanted the death chair, but they denied that. They wanted her to suffer. So she actually got life without parole. She would never ever probably see outside of jail ever. She did have a couple appeals. I think you get 3. She did lose all 3 of them. So justice is just not on her side right now. It's just not looking good. So after court was over, they did allow me to briefly speak to her. So I was able to go back into the courtroom and speak to her and talk to her. I thought she was gonna be so mad at me, but I mean, if she was, she didn't show it that day. She didn't show her hatefulness towards me until later on down the line. But I would definitely get in that too as well in my next video. I also want to address some comments that I seen. People said that I should have called the police. Trust me, y'all, I dealt with that. I literally blame myself for years. I still sometimes blame myself. I feel like I could have done something. I should have went and got help. I should have called the police. I should have did anything, but I did not know, y'all. I did not know that that day was gonna be my brother's last day. I did not know that beating was gonna last all day and he was gonna die from it. Like, I'll tell y'all the real cause of his death with the autopsy ruled out on my next video as well too. But y'all, don't go so hard on me, y'all. Trust me, I felt like I could have done something too. I felt like it was my fault. Like, my brother was screaming, Tisha, help me, help me, help me. And I look back like, dang, I didn't help my brother. I didn't help him. Yeah, I didn't.
This world could be so cruel. She was 10 years old, y'all. Let's be real. What 10-year-old instantly gonna think, oh, let me call the police on my mama? Like, come on now. What 10-year-old gonna instantly think that? What 10-year-old gonna be brave enough, not many, to jump in while their mother is hitting their sibling when she get the same treatment? Like, let's be real. And furthermore, like, they already blaming themselves. They already feel sick. They already depressed, stressed, got anxiety from this situation. And the world will tear you down. Like, literally tear you down and make you go back into those depression modes from the first time it happened. Baby girl, it was not your fault at all. You did what you knew to do. You tried to help your brother with the numbers so she can leave him alone, right? Like, it's not your fault. It's your mother's fault. You were immature then. You didn't know what to do. That was on your mother. And I'm sorry that you experienced that. And I'm sorry that people don't understand that. People are quick to say what somebody should have done because they were never in that position. I'm happy that you testified. Your voice was your brother's voice. And you had your brother back regardless of if it was too late or not. That man, he knew he was wrong. He knew he was the adult. He was more mature than you, and he should have called the police. But instead, he wanted to help your mother by hiding your brother, which probably caused him to take his own life. I just feel like he did it. I feel like it was eating him up. The guilt was tearing him up. Y'all, don't help anybody with the fucking crime, because I'm telling you, it will feel like you was the problem. It will feel like it was your fault. You will feel the same feeling that the person that actually did it, you will feel that same feeling. It will eat you up in the inside. He should have called the police. He could have saved your brother. Well, technically he couldn't have, because when he got there, your brother was already gone. But at least he could have called the police to at least try to get help to see. But in my opinion, like, he probably did take his own life. He probably couldn't handle what had happened. And plus, he was being accused of it too at the time. So, yeah, like, baby girl, it wasn't your fault. Rest in peace to that guy. But at the same time, sir, you should have called the police. You should have. Now, if anybody did take his life, who would have done it? It had to be, like, who would have been after him if it wasn't about the little boy? Like, I don't know. But let's continue.
Hey, my TikTok family. How y'all doing on this good Saturday? So, y'all, I'm getting some negative feedback from the auntie that was mentioned in my story time. You know, the one that came to the school and the one that I told to. So she is mad at me that I am sharing my story, that I am telling the truth. You know, I'm telling my truth. I'm living in my truth. And they mad. The family is mad. They mad at me. So I just want to know, y'all, should I continue on telling my story, or should I just stop it right here? Because I don't feel like I did nothing wrong personally. Like, this is my story. That was my mother. That was my brother. I was the one that was in the house when it all happened. It was just us three, my mama, me, and my brother. Nobody else. For the people that for all my family members, to my family members, they only know the story based on what was told to them. Nobody was there. So it's different from telling you a story than actually being there and witnessing it. So I feel like I'm not going to listen to no haters. I don't care who she is, whether it's family, friend, I don't care. I'm going to continue to put my story out there. I'm going to continue to share my story because I feel like maybe it could help somebody. But y'all, that's all I want to say. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Would y'all feel bad, you know, telling your story if a family member don't want you telling your story? But this is my story to tell. Mind y'all, this is the same auntie that I couldn't even go stay with. The judge or my mama didn't want me with her at all because she was so unstable and not a good, you know, person I should be staying with, put it like that. And so, with that being said, I went into the system, boo. So, you mad. Like, it's just very insane how they mad at me. But they gonna stay mad because we're gonna continue sharing my story. Okay?
Why you mad? I know why. Because you don't want your sister to get her hands on the videos and be mad at you. Because you probably told your sister that you tried to tell her not to say anything. But you the one who brung the police back in the room, baby girl. And you wasn't wrong by doing that. So if your sister mad at you about that, deuces, you got life anyway. What can you do to me? But it seems like she don't want her sister to know that she coached her daughter or told the police that her daughter told her different. Like, that's what it seemed to me. But baby girl, tell your story, because maybe a younger child might hear this and can save their sibling life or their life if something's happening. Like,
hey y'all, I just came on here to make a quick video. Yesterday I was on live and somebody asked me how was my brother burial, did he have a good burial, and things like that. So I just basically answered to them that, explained to them that it was a closed casket funeral. We wasn't able to view the body one more time. They said that he just didn't look, they wasn't able to make him look decent enough to have an open casket funeral. So it was a closed casket. My family never got my brother a headstone. They never did that for him. So when I was explaining that to one of my followers, they reached out to me and asked me if they could make me a GoFundMe account to help get my brother a headstone. So I told her, I'm interested. So y'all, if y'all want to donate or contribute or help out, to this great cause, I will be sharing the link in the comments. I'll be dropping the link. I'm also be tagging the lady that's going to be helping me with this GoFundMe account. So yes, y'all, I'm really excited. Like, I just see great things happening for my brother, and I'm so glad that I opened up and started speaking and sharing his story. It's no telling how many lives and hearts this story has touched. So yeah, I'm blessed. I'm forever thankful. And even if I don't reach the goal to give my brother a headstone, I'm still gonna be happy. I'm still gonna be blessed. I'm still gonna share his story, because it's okay. Everything's in God's time, man, and everything ain't gonna happen, when I want it to. Everything ain't gonna be boom, 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 boom. But it's a step. And with prayers and my faith, I know my brother's gonna get him a headstone, and I'm gonna be thankful to each and every one of y'all that help him get a headstone, so I can be taking y'all with me when I go out there and visit him and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, stay tuned for the details on that. Yeah, and that's that. I love y'all. Bye.
strangers can be so nice, but mean at the same time.
Hey y'all, I'm just back on here to let y'all know that I may or may not be doing another story time, which will be my part 4, because I got offered to do a documentary. Y'all, I had my first meeting today with him, and I think this is it. I think this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to be working with him, so y'all may not get no part 4 on TikTok, like me just doing a part 4, but there is a documentary coming that we are working on. It's in the making. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'm excited. Y'all should be excited for me too. But yeah, it's big things happening for your girl. Big things. But because I don't want to continue doing my story on TikTok, and then when my documentary come out, nobody don't want to watch it, because y'all know I already seen me doing all my story times on TikTok. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. Your girl headed to the TV screen. Oh, I'm back with another video. I know y'all missed me, because I missed y'all. I miss talking to y'all. I've been trying to stay off the internet, because the girl, I've been working, y'all. I've been working. Clock it. But yeah, I'm back with a little funny story time. So yeah, let me get into it. Okay, so I think it was last week, or maybe a week before last, I ran into my grandmother, which is my mother's mother, my biological mama. Now, mind you, I don't speak to her on the regular. I don't communicate with her on a regular basis. I don't keep up with her. She don't keep up with me. So we kind of like strangers. She don't know the latest with me, and I don't know what she got going on. So yeah, I ran into her. So immediately when I see her and she see me, her first words, not even, hey, how you doing? Give me a hug. It's, I'm gonna beat your ass. So I'm like, you gonna beat my ass? Why? I'm grown. She like, what's this I hear you on the internet talking about your mama? First of all, let me stop right there. Let me stop you in your tracks right there. Cause I ain't talking about my mama. I'm not talking about her. I'm telling what she did. It's the difference between talking to somebody and just telling the truth. It's a big difference. So anywho, so she was like, so I said, I'm not really talking about her. I said, I'm just sharing my truth, I'm just telling the story that anybody can go on the internet and look it up. Like, it's public record. So I'm not necessarily talking about her. So okay, so she moved forward from that topic, and so she was like, "What's this I hear you doing a movie on it?" So I ain't gonna never put a hate in my business. So I'm like, "Movie? What you talking about? I ain't doing no movie." And I said, "But if it comes, then so be it." She told me something. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not over my dead body. You gotta go through me or your mama for permission. Permission? And y'all, for a second, I really almost forgot she was my grandmama. So I'm like, permission? Did my mama get your permission to unalive her son? Did my mama get your permission to almost beat me to death with my brother? Did my mama ask your permission to move us to a whole nother city? Another city and state? I mean, not state, but a whole nother city? Did she get your permission to do any of that? So why do I need permission when I'm a grown woman and this is my story? It was only 3 people there, me, my mother, and my brother. Who else can tell a story better than me? And another thing, y'all, was so funny. When I seen her, I told my auntie, not the one that I be talking about in my story time. This is my mama other sister. This my girl. Like, we locked in. So I'm telling her, I'm like, dang, I know my grandma gonna be mad. When she see me, she probably gonna have something to say. I said, but you know what? Whatever royalties I get from doing this, I'm gonna come wipe her down. Them was my exact words before I got out and made interaction with her. I said, I'm gonna bless my grandma. I'm gonna come bless her. I ain't even gonna tell her. I'm just gonna come pull up and just. Cause that's me. I love to take care of people. Like, I love to do that. But now, baby, since it ain't gonna happen, you ain't gonna get a coin from me. Y'all gonna sit back and watch it happen. Yeah. So me and my producers, we still on that. We still it's most definitely gonna happen, because what's for me is for me, and can't you or nobody else take that from me. And that's just what it is. I don't know why my family is so pressed on me. This is so sad. But I can't wait till I blow up, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm taking me and my children and I'm moving far away. I'm gonna be so uncontactable, because it ain't nothing left for me here. I'm talking about, I ain't got nothing but hate and just no support, no love. I'm getting a freak on automobile, okay? But y'all, on a serious note, I do need to know my rights and learn my rights. So I have been reaching out to some entertainment lawyers. I just haven't heard anything back. I'm waiting on some phone calls. But I still feel like they can't do nothing about me telling my story. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So if anybody is a lawyer and watching my video, can somebody please shed some lightning on this for me? Please comment any information y'all may have about this. Inbox me. I'm still looking for a lawyer just to have on my side. But I still feel like even if I don't get a lawyer, there's nothing y'all could do. Like, there's nothing they could do. Like, I'm even working with the evidence people, getting access to the case files. So if I could do that, I could tell the story. The people giving me the information that I need to put into my movie. So why do but I still just need a lawyer though. I still need a lawyer. So if anybody got any information, please don't be afraid to let your know, okay? I love y'all.
This is even scary that it even happened. To now have to see what your legal rights is to tell your story, because you were there, you had to testify, and you witnessed it. Like, yeah, I would get a lawyer too, because you never know what this family is all about. And for that grandmother to come up on you talking all that mess, knowing her daughter, it's like they kind of, I understand this is still her child regardless, but honey, your child took her own child's life. Did y'all even hold her accountable? Did y'all even go visit her and tell her how bad that was and how ashamed she should be for taking her own child life? I bet y'all didn't. But y'all all up in the granddaughter face, the niece face. Like, y'all, go sit down. Granny, go sit down. Now, I don't believe in hitting old people, especially your granny. Much respect, but who? You gonna hit who, Granny? Who? And then, y'all, it's crazy because a lot of children start acting out once stuff like this happen, and they get into the care of someone else taking care of them that's in the family, so they won't be in foster care. So the part when she said that she started acting out when she got with her dad and he was like, you gonna respect my wife? 100%, that's what needs to happen. You need to respect the household. You need to respect the adults, like regardless of if it's your mother or not. So I'm glad she finally had came around and, you know, start accepting, you know, her stepmother or whatever. And I'm glad the dad came and she found out that all that bull crap that her mother was telling her was not true. Her daddy really did love her. Now, I hate when adults shame the other parent, even though that parent ain't there or whatever. Like, stop speaking negative stuff to them. Like, let them figure out when they become adults and stuff whether that parent really loved them or not. Like, stop, just don't even mention them at all. If you don't have nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at all. Like, leave it alone. Y'all, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. This story to me was sad. At some parts I want to just pause because, baby, it was, whew, Jesus, that poor 5-year-old little boy, his last day on earth. Oh my God. But I'm glad she got life without the possibility of parole. Girl, you asked for the death penalty and you really thought they was going to give it to you? No, ma'am. You going to experience this heartbreak, this depression, this, all of this stuff that you literally put your family through for no reason. Drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here and you reached the end, subscribe. Subscribe. Join the family. If you are returning, I wish I could give you some dap, but you already know. Like, comment, and share this video. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.